401ks make up a majority of most retirees' retirement plan, but when they get to retirement, they realize that there's a few major flaws to planning that way. Now, if you haven't retired yet, this will be an important video for you. And if you're already retired, it's not too late. Because in this video, I'm going to share 3 hidden problems with 401ks that nobody really talks about. And then the simple strategy my most successful clients use to build the tax bulletproof retirement plan. And then I'll give you the exact blueprint to protect your money from the 2 biggest retirement killers. I'm Dave Zoller, and we've been helping people retire for the last 16 years at Streamline Financial. And we've seen firsthand the difference in the retirement outcome comparing someone who has a lot in their 401k versus someone who applies some of the tax planning strategies that I'm going to share with you in just a moment. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build a retirement plan that actually works in the real world. And if you end up liking this video, please click the like button so that hopefully more people can see this and get helped too. Now, here's the thing that most people don't think about. The money that you saved in your 401k, it isn't really all yours. Uncle Sam considers it his money too, but it doesn't become really clear until you actually start mapping out your retirement. Our client, we'll call her Maggie, she had reached her financial independence number. She was ready to be done with work and move into this new exciting chapter she had all planned out. But when we started planning her retirement, she quickly realized that the money in her 401k, about 30% of it wasn't hers to use at all. This is what I call the 401k tax trap. You get a small break when you put money in, but you pay the price later when you actually need to start using it. But there's something even more dangerous because it's a hidden tax you really don't see or hear about often, or at least you don't recognize it happening to you. But every year, it's reducing the effectiveness of the money that you put in a 401k, and really any account that you have. A normal retirement, it's somewhere between 20 to 35 years, right? Depending on when you retire. And the invisible thief cuts your account in half about every 20 years. And that killer is inflation. So we just need to work in the plan to either keep up or hopefully outpace it. When I was doing people's taxes in many years ago, I remember a couple who was unfortunately going through a divorce around 2008, 2009. And it meant that they divided many of the investments and assets equally, 50-50. And they were not clients of Streamline at the time. They were tax clients. And I reviewed their accounts and I gave them some ideas around investments and strategy and things like that. And it was a scary time for them because their accounts were down 40% at that time, 2008, the great financial crisis. And the wife, Donna, she stayed invested and she was able to get back to her high water mark about 4 years later. The husband, he let his emotions drive the financial decision and moved everything into ultra conservative investments. And then 3 years later, when we were reviewing taxes, he was nowhere near his previous high water amount. Now, that wasn't just inflation, but every year that he waited to invest, inflation did continue to eat away at his purchasing power of the money that he saved. Now, I want to get to some of the real strategies you can use and start applying in your retirement plan today. But first, here's a few other downsides to focusing only on your 401k and building that up. The first one is limited investment options. Many plans restrict you to high fee mutual funds that end up giving lower returns because of those fees. The second one is contribution limits. In 2025, the max is $23,500 or $30,500 if you're over 50. Then number 3 is required minimum distributions. It's a ways off, but when you get to 73, the IRS forces you to take out money, whether you need it or not, potentially pushing you into a higher tax bracket. We see that happen quite often. Number 4 is early withdrawal penalties. We know about that at 59.5 is the date. If you were going to retire before that date, it's harder to use some of those funds. Number 5 is no step up in basis. Unlike regular investments like a brokerage account, your heirs will get really have to pay tax on everything within your 401k instead of getting the tax advantages of some of the other accounts out there. Number 6 is all or nothing tax treatment, right? Every dollar that comes out of your 401k, if it's pre-tax, you've got no control over whether you pay tax or not on that money. You have to. And that kind of falls into the next one, which is no protection from tax rate increases. If tax rates do go up, which a lot of people expect that they will, you'll pay those higher tax rates with every withdrawal that you take, and there's no way to avoid that. Now let's get into some of the strategies you can start to use. And let me know if you're liking this video so far by leaving a comment or giving it a like. Now, the smartest retirees I know and that I work with, they never put all of their eggs in one basket. They understand that there's 3 different types of accounts and they get taxed in different ways. The 3 types of accounts are 1, the 401k or the tax deferred bucket, which we were just talking about. That's great for reducing taxes today. And then the second one is Roth IRAs. That's the tax-free bucket. You pay tax now, but then never again. And then 3 is the brokerage account. That's the tax, you could call that the tax efficient bucket. Not always, but there's things you could do to make it tax efficient. That's lower capital gains tax rates usually, and then more flexibility with that account. And Vanguard actually did a study. They found that a smart tax efficient withdrawal strategy, the kind that we help our clients with, that can save you up to 1% annually. And when you take a $1 million portfolio, that's potentially $100,000 or more over a 10-year retirement. So this is worth talking to your advisor about. So those are the 3 main accounts that we know about and maybe you've heard about before. But now there's one other type of account we don't see used very often, but it actually combines the benefits of all 3 of those previously mentioned accounts. And that's an HSA, a health savings account. That can offer a triple tax advantage. And what I mean by that is 1, contributions are pre-tax, so you get the deduction. 2 is the growth is tax-free. And then 3, withdrawals for medical expenses are tax-free at any age. And here's the bonus. When you turn 65, you can withdraw HSA money for any reason, not just medical expenses. You'll pay regular income tax if you do take out for non-medical withdrawals, just like a traditional IRA would be, but you still keep all of those years of tax-free growth. Plus, medical expenses, they're not going to go away in retirement. We'll be on Medicare and things like that. But those medical expenses also typically increase. So you're building this tax-free fund for expenses that you know you're going to have in the future. The key advantage is flexibility after 65 while maintaining the medical tax-free benefit forever. Onto another strategy worth exploring, which you've heard about, is Roth conversions, right? That's simply transferring funds from your 401k or IRA, other pre-tax accounts, to a Roth IRA. You'll pay taxes the year that you do that, but the money grows tax-free forever. And this strategy is especially useful if you expect tax rates to rise in retirement, especially when you get to that RMD age in your 70s. Also, if you can afford to pay taxes upfront at lower rates. And then 3, you want to reduce your required taxable withdrawals in retirement. So for many of our clients, we found that there's this Roth conversion sweet spot right around after they retire, but before they start taking Social Security. And if they've got money saved in a brokerage account or maybe a bank account, and they can convert those funds and then pay tax at maybe their lowest rate that they've had in 30 years, that can be quite advantageous. It's not right for everybody, but for many, it's a smart long-term move. And I just mentioned Social Security. Well, that's not usually the primary retirement source. Social Security can provide this steady income stream, right? The average monthly benefit in 2025 is $1,850. But delaying benefits until age 70, that increases payments by up to 76% compared to starting at 62. So that Social Security strategy, it really depends on a few factors, and it could be unique to everybody, to your specific plan. But many have found that delaying Social Security while withdrawing from other accounts early in retirement, that allows benefits to grow and more advantageous withdrawal strategy in the future. So what do you do with all this information? Here's a step-by-step action plan. Step 1, if your company has a HSA, see if you can max it out if you're able. That's single, $4,300 per year is what you can contribute. If you're married, it's $8,550. That's for families, and that's in 2025. Step 2 is make sure you get the 401k company match. That's free money that you can't leave on the table. Step 3 is open a Roth IRA and contribute if you can. If you hit some of the limits, maybe talk to your advisor or look it up if you can do that. Because even a small amount per month can make a huge difference over time and can add to your options that you have in retirement and related to your withdrawal strategy. Step 4 is consider a taxable brokerage account for anything above and beyond this point to build up that more, I guess I'll say liquid or just more available fund that you can use for things beyond retirement if needed. And really the goal is not perfection. It's just to make some progress. Start with one bucket and then add to the others if you're able. Start with one account, and if you can keep adding to these other ones, then that's great. And remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So now's the time to get going on this. And it's important to remember, retirement planning isn't just about the numbers in your account. It's about creating a life that's meaningful and secure and joyful and fulfilling. So your 401k is a great start, But it's really just that. That's the start. By diversifying across these different account types, you're not just going to be saving for retirement, you're really building in real financial security. And if you want to dive deeper into retirement planning strategies, I've got a few videos coming up here on the screen. And some of them are around some of the mistakes that we see a lot of 50-year-olds or 60-year-olds make. So you'll see that link there. And remember, think about your future self. He or she is counting on the decisions that you make today. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.